Jimmy Graham. Now, don't get me wrong. Your point is so valid, and I'm not discrediting it at all, because you're right. He was brought in here for a reason. But you know what? To me, he was brought in for that play on the goal line. Instead of Ricardo Lockett passing the ball to Ricardo Lockett, it was Jimmy Graham. And where did that take place? Within inside the 5-yard line, which was in the confines of the red zone. And I understand, that it's, you don't really have enough looks at it. But I mean, at the end of the day, though, I mean, you still have your prime playmaker number 3. You have secondary primary playmakers number 24. The bread and butter of this offense is to methodically get downfield and put yourself in a position, A, to put the points on the board, but once you're in that short field, you have a guy who's 6'5" and who can leap out of the gym. He's, Jimmy Graham. That's where his bread and butter is going to come in. I fully expect him to have a huge role when it comes to red zone offense, but to specifically make sure that an offense is geared around a tight end.
Listen, if you got a pass to Luke Wilson in that game, you could have gotten a pass to Jimmy Graham. I feel you. I feel you. By the way, interesting thing about Ricky Watters, I don't know if a lot of people know this. Okay, so he was a Seahawk for 4 years, played all 16 games, 3 of those 4 years, 5 games his 4th year. He came to the Seahawks at the age of 29. All 3 years that he started 16 games, he was well over 1,200 yards in rushing. So he's one of the anomalies in the NFL where they say 30's that brick wall.
Right.
Like Marshawn Lynch is an anomaly.
Right.
He was very, very good at 30 and after. Yeah. And then like 33 is when he hit his wall. So I loved Ricky Watters. And the battle between when Sean Alexander came in as a rookie, and Sean wanted to play, and Ricky wanted to play, and I was covering the team, and I think that was 99. I love that. Was a great story.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that carried all the way back when they were playing at Husky Stadium. And Sean Alexander on Monday night versus the Raiders. Those two were jockeying for carries like it was. And what was
for who? For what? Remember that? Ricky Watters in Philadelphia, alligator armpit.
What was great about that is Sean Alexander inadvertently made Ricky Watters. Both of them made it better.
Yeah.
That was some great. That even though the Seahawks were okay, they weren't fantastic. Though having those two guys, that was good football to watch.
Holmgren really handled that well. All right, so anyway, Jimmy Graham, I think he needs to be more involved in the offense. I think there does need to be some plays that revolve around him. Maybe put him in the seam down the field and get him some deep balls. I don't know what it is, but I would like to see a rhythm built up, because if you look at what he had in New Orleans, and that's what made him great. If you're not going to try to make him great in your offense, you shouldn't have gone out and made that trade, because Drew Nowak, God love you, Western Michigan, a Green Bay guy, but he's J.R. Sweezy minus about 2 levels.
He's a poor man's J.R. Sweezy.
Yeah, he's a poor, and that's a great way to put it,
because J.R. Sweezy's. He's aight.
Well, he's and J.R. Sweezy's gotten pretty good. I mean, he's at points and times, J.R. Sweezy is a very good guard. Other points and times, he's okay. But when he first started, when he was making that conversion from defensive lineman to offensive lineman, which is what Drew Nowak is doing, by the way, Sweezy got beat like a rented mule a lot. Well, Drew Nowak's getting shoved around and beat up pretty bad. We need to see him improve like J.R. Sweezy improved, and maybe quicker, if we want Russell Wilson to not have to run for his life all the time.
I get the impression that Jimmy Graham is being used as a decoy right now, just because of the fact that you're seeing a lot of double teams on Jimmy Graham. I think defenses understand that he's on the field.
Oh, you didn't get the memo. We're done talking about Jimmy Graham.
All right, let me.
Sorry about that. You can check your email once again.
Okay, well.
No, go ahead. Finish your
No, I mean seriously. I mean, I did roast a big old bull before I came in here. So,
excellent. Hey, that leads to your advertising plan with our 420 guys. Can we do it from an ad? What are they called? The marijuana houses, stores.
I just call them.
But what are they called though? There's a name for them. Not pharmacy. Dispensary.
Right.
Can we do one from inside a dispensary with like a buffet of all you can smoke and just see how the show goes? Just to see how.
By the way, do you realize that would be phenomenal? And I can tell you that my wife would be there on location.
Yeah, can you imagine?
She would be there. I'm not putting her on. Seriously, sweetie, I'm not putting her on Front Street. I'm just saying I know you. So it's interesting because I think. A lot of Jimmy Graham's issues goes back to what you were just saying, the offensive line and some of the struggles. And either you have just it's like the Zach Miller issue. I mean, he came in as a prolific pass catcher from Oakland, 70 catches per year for 3 years. Came to Seattle, offensive line issues, and he had to sit back and block. Jimmy Graham will block. He doesn't like to block. He'll do it. But also when he's on the field, there's also a lot of double teams because, well, again, he's on the field. He's probably their best receiver.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe it's the issue of they want to get to him, but unfortunately, when Russell sees him with an opportunity, maybe there's a window and there's 2 Packers or 2 Rams around him, he's not going to take the chance of trying to thread the needle to him.
Now, by the way, guys, you see this mop of a hairdo I have?
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't cut it since last December. And I was going to cut it right before the Super Bowl, and I didn't have time. And when the Seahawks lost, I said, okay, I'm not cutting my hair until the Seahawks win. Well, I expected to have this thing
cut by now.
cut after week 1.
A couple weeks ago.
I really did. And now we're here at week 3, and Jimmy Clausen coming to town to lead the Chicago Bears.
Jimmy!
Jay Cutler, who was actually looking like he was trying to prove people wrong about his lackadaisical attitude, and he was coming out of the gate looking okay. And now here's a guy out of Notre Dame who we haven't really even seen play that much in the NFL. Why he was drafted who drafted him? The Panthers in the first round? Stupid. Why do they...
And the very next year, Cam Newton.
Why do teams draft quarterbacks because they're the best quarterback in the draft? Why don't you compare them overall to all the quarterbacks that are in the NFL that have been drafted, that will be drafted, and if he doesn't stack up, don't get him. Because Jimmy Clausen had no business being drafted in the first round.
Because at that point in time, what did Carolina desperately need?
So make a trade, get a journeyman guy, get Tavares Jackson. It would have been better than Jimmy Clausen.
Would you rather have taken Jake Delhomme, who was available, or would you rather take Jimmy Clausen? I probably would have taken Jimmy Clausen.
That first round pick could have been so much more valuable.
Oh, absolutely. I don't disagree with you, but
just stupid.
It also
how are guys that are paid a lot of money, professional GMs and scouts, so stupid sometimes? I don't know.
By the way, Jimmy Clausen gets any GM fired just like that.
Okay, well, he's coming to Seattle.
And by the way, I think the GM actually was fired. They hired a new guy. They brought in Ron Rivera to coach, and then they drafted Cam Newton.
And that's fine. Cam Newton was a good pick, I think. Cam Newton could potentially lead that team to a Super Bowl with all the right pieces. I'm not saying that he's like clockwork. Listen, he's got the skills. He still needs to mature. That's a whole different
I think Cam Newton's just going to end up being another guy, and that's fine. He can take you to the playoffs and win the division.
He's not just another guy, though, because he has some extraordinary characteristics.
I think he's like Tony Romo. And what's kind of funny is, don't get me wrong, you know for a fact that Tony Romo can win you a division, can get you to the playoffs, but he cannot win you that game. He cannot take you to that next level. I think Cam Newton is one of those guys.
This broken collarbone. This is his second broken collarbone. How's the guy supposed to do anything?
Well, he did it before. I mean, he's played on a broken collarbone. Well, but the point is, I think Cam Newton's fine. I think he's good, and I think he can take him to the playoffs and win the division. I don't think Cam Newton's going to win.
We've gotten diverted, sidetracked, but
so to Tarantino this back to Jimmy Clausen.
Okay,
I'm chomping at the bit. Okay. Because it's fucking Jimmy Clausen.
I know.
It's Jimmy Clausen. It's like, this is great because what is the best way to get healthy? If you're a football team sitting at 0-2, Jimmy goddamn Clausen.
That's it.
And no Alshon Jeffrey. You don't have to worry about Alshon Jeffrey.
Yep.
All you have to do is pin your ears back and
Brandon Marshall because he's not there anymore.
All you have to do is pin your ears back, make sure Matt Forte is a non-factor, and let Jimmy Clausen throw 3 picks. And let Cam Chancellor just get his wheels back, and let Russell Wilson score 3 touchdowns, and just win convincingly like a 24-10. It doesn't have to be sexy. Just get a win under your belt and just get the good mojo going. That's it. I mean, you get Jimmy goddamn Clausen at home. Beautiful.
Commando, what a great game for Cam to come back and kind of dip his toe back in the water. I mean, everybody's going to be feeling good after this game because I expect there to be some plays made back in the Legion of Boom.
Yeah, as we've talked and as everyone knows, I'm not saying anything that's not just completely obvious. Without Cam Chancellor, the Boom was removed from the Legion. We talked about that already. With Cam Chancellor coming back, the Boom, now that secondary has the 3 core members. They've rotated a guy, every season. It seems like a guy's in and out. Byron Maxwell, Brandon Brown, and that kind of deal. But now that Cam Chancellor's back, as you said, perfect game for him to be back at home. Forget the booze. As soon as he lowers that first boom, Next thing you know, game is on. But I'll say in his absence, number 29 has just been bringing the pain for the last 2 games. I'm listening to guys on the radio saying, man, Earl Thomas doesn't look, like he's 100%. Earl Thomas like he's 110%. Ask Eddie Lacy.
Right.
Because he laid him straight out on a
Rocky.
2nd and 9 in that game last week. So, yeah, the missing piece is back, and as you said, Captain, couldn't be a better week for it.
So here's the wide receiving crew that Jimmy Clausen is going to be looking to throw to. Eddie Royal,
Woo!
journeyman around the NFL.
Love me some Eddie Royal.
You said Alshon Jeffrey's out. They have him listed in the depth chart as being the number 1 wide receiver.
Hamstring issue.
But he's got that hammy issue.
Yeah.
Marquise Wilson.
Yeah, go
Former
Cougs!
Coug. Okay, all right.
No faith, though.
And then some dude named Josh Bellamy. Is he related to Bill Bellamy? Was he on MTV at one point in time? I mean, come on. That's a no-name crowd right there. The best thing they have going for him is Matt Forte. And I think that the Hawks defense was getting carved up by the run in these first 2 games, especially in St. Louis by Cunningham.
Yeah, Benny Cunningham and Isaiah Pete.
And Forte's a good back. He can
Right.
catch out of the backfield. I mean, he's really good. And you got Quiz to come in and offset the pace.
Right.
I like their backfield.
The great thing.
It's no Sweetness and Neil Anderson, but I like their backfield.
I was gonna say Dave Meggett and all those guys.
But I'm doing a reference to the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
Gotta. Commando, you would be with me if you weren't fucking around with the cameras all the time.
Hey man.
Hey, I'm with you anyway, Captain.
So the
Preach on, buddy, preach on.
the thing about this is, but that's the beauty of it, because you don't have to worry about Alshon Jeffrey or Jay Cutler. You literally can just focus on Matt Forte and Jacques Wazers, because you know for a fact that Jimmy Clausen's going to be a complete non-factor. I mean, he's just there to breathe and play the position. He's not actually there to actually be a relevant quarterback. So what's great about this is you can literally play a true cover 1, which they like to play. Bring Cam Chancellor down in the box and just let him get his wheels back. And if that means you can use him sideline to sideline and just let him just get his gears going, and you can literally just focus on Matt Forte and Jacques Rogers. Please, man. This is because you don't have to worry about the quarterback position now. You can just literally focus on Matt Forte. That's it.
Did you guys? I'm looking at the Bears defense now because the Chicago offense isn't going to do jack against this defense. It's just not happening. Did you realize that Tracy Porter is on the Chicago Bears?
Yeah, I did.
I mean, he's second on the depth chart.
Jared Allen too, right? He's there, isn't he?
Oh yeah. Well, Jared Allen's their right outside linebacker.
Right.
He'll get the start, and they've got Entrell Roll, Kyle Fuller. What happened to all the names that the Chicago Bears defense used to have?
Brigg, Brian Urlacher.
They are going through. Oh, they
Julius
have.
Peppers.
Hey, Husky fans, John Timo, he'll get
John
get some
Timo.
action at inside linebacker. But quite honestly, this isn't the Bears defense that people have known. This isn't your daddy's Chicago Bears defense, Commando.
No, this is the Chicago Bears is going to get their asses kicked and then hand it to them and booted out of town on Sunday. That's what the Chicago
No,
Bears.
this is definitely not the type of Bears team that
The
Ditka
Bears.
Ditka would roll out there,
Bears.
and not the type of Bears team that Ditka would like. It's one of those type of teams where it's just another team. They're going
That's
to
what it
Seattle.
is.
They're just going to Seattle. They're there.
And
Yeah.
see now, for all the angst that we've heard from Seahawk fans in the last couple of weeks, as I said at the top, you played 2 tough road teams. Okay, places that number one, they're 2 good teams, hard to win in their place.
Yeah.
If you get beat by the Chicago Bears, though, at home on your home opener,
Forget it.
let the angst begin.
I mean, the Bears are 0-2, just like the Seahawks.
I understand
Now
that.
they're coming on the road for a tough game, just like
Right.
the Hawks have had to do. Kevin White, by the way, another wide receiver on that
Nice.
team that's supposed to be pretty good.
Wasn't he the former quarterback at West Virginia? Was he? I think he was.
Let's just see here if it's the
thing
same
about-
Kevin White.
The thing about this is, and I hate to bring this up because I know Brian, he's knee deep in Chicago Bears, depth chart over here.
I'm down the
And I know
down
he's
the
paying
wiki
attention,
hole.
but here's the thing, and
Right.
this is the one thing That being a Cougar fan has taught me its humility and to take games one at a time and not to overlook opponents, because something did happen in week 1 of our schedule where the Chicago Bears came into Martin Stadium and you know, beat a team that they shouldn't have beat. So these type of things tend to happen. Now, granted.